After 17 months of sitting vacant and fenced off, owners of apartments in a southern Sydney complex were told it's no longer financially viable to fix massive structural issues and they should all sell to an interested developer. The Mascot Towers Owners Corporation say there's been little, if any, help from the state government, with many owners likely to go bankrupt even if the sale goes ahead. Yasmin Cately is the New South Wales Shadow Minister for Building Reform and Property and joins me now. Thanks so much for your time, Ms Cately. How did we get here when you've got Mascot Towers, Opals Towers, these new apartment blocks going up in Sydney, and then they're found to have massive structural issues and it's destroying the lives of these apartment owners? How did we get to this point?
Yes, you're exactly right, Kenny. How did we get to this point? It is a dismal failure of regulation from the government. The building regulations in New South Wales have failed homeowners miserably, and we have this terrible, horrendous situation with Mascot Towers where those owners who are in a hopeless situation now, as you quite rightly pointed out, face bankruptcy. And can I say, this is through no fault of their own. They did their due diligence. They lived in a property that had been certified and that they thought was safe to live in. Yet we now know that not to be the case. And these people, you know, they had the great Australian dream of buying property in Sydney. These people aren't investors. They're, you know, just people who wanted to buy a home, live close to the city and be able to work and support their families. And now they're in this devastating situation where they have nothing and looking down the barrel of bankruptcy. It's the saddest situation.
Kevin Anderson is the Minister for Better Regulation and Innovation. Unfortunately, I couldn't get him on the program, but he did send me a statement. And I must stress that this is not the whole statement, but I do want to read you a bit of it if that's okay. The statement says the New South Wales government's once-in-a-generation building reform have ushered in a new era in the building and construction sector. We've been working flat out on the job of rebuilding confidence in the market so that the sector can operate with certainty and so that homeowners can feel secure in the apartments they buy and live in. Turning around decades of consumer neglect in the building and construction sector will take time, but through our new laws, we have the weapons in our arsenal to do just that. Do you have confidence in their new laws?
No, it's still going on as we speak. We know that there are buildings out there being built at the moment which have major defects. Look, there's no doubt that the government have tried to make some positive change to building regulation in New South Wales. And they haven't gone far enough, is the truth of it. And this is a prime example. Like, these people have nowhere to go. This is a building that is only 11 years old, Mascot Towers. Like, a building should last more than 11 years. It's just beggars belief. We've got a building commissioner on the ground. He does not have enough powers. He does not have enough resources. He'll tell you that he does, but clearly he doesn't. He can do nothing about this. You know, the government had put the Mascot Towers in the too hard basket, and it is too hard for them. You know, these people had asked for an interest-free loan back in 2019, and the government could not bring themselves to help them out. They have assisted with some rent assistance, which is great, because they were literally paying twice. They were paying their mortgages and they were having to pay rent on another property, so they had a roof over their head. So they did provide some assistance there, and we're grateful for that. And on that note, I want to make sure that the government continue to assist these people until such time as they have some financial benefit out of this terrible situation that they're in, even though we know that they're going to lose between 70 and 80% of their initial investment. I mean, can you believe that? It's just extraordinary. I'm sure that all of your viewers will be staggered by that.
Well, I spoke to the chair of the Mascot Towers Owners Corporation yesterday, and he said that he tried to get low interest loans and things like that out of the state government, but there hasn't been much help.
Look, I've written to them several times on behalf of the Labor opposition. I've spoken directly to the Minister about this. It's something that the government could have done to assist these people. Let's just remember, put it back into the framework again. These are people who bought a house, they did their due diligence. They thought that the property that they'd purchased was safe and it was going to be their dream come true. And then in June of 2019, they found themselves out on the street. And it was a failure of government regulation and dodgy building work that attributed to that. And the government really should help these people. You know, they need to look at some options to give these people some assistance. It's shocking what's happening to their lives.
It's a big problem. Yasmin Cately, thank you so much for your time on Weekend Live today. Thanks for joining us.
Good to talk to you, Kenny.